Boo, 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 boo. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Student podcast. Yeah. Namhlanje usuku olukhulu senza umlando. Siphethe chairman, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, man?
You can lift the mic so that you can hear you.
I'm good. How are you?
I am good, man. Can you please introduce yourself ngamagama ambalwa nje mfethu?
The only chairman of this country.
Chairman of what?
Chairman of all things.
Apparently, this guy's name is chairman, even in the ID document. That's crazy.
Yeah, abazali bayazazi into abazenzayo.
Mm.
Yeah, so no sinethemba MSOMI igama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Potchefstroom. Dushula. Lali yami. But ke ngikhulele lokushini. Yeah, so yeah.
No, bro, like, just to kickstart this conversation, I always meet this lady. He asks me simple words. Or she says a statement. It's a statement. What's a penny for your thought? So we expect something random but full of wisdom. What would you say, mhlawumbe, randomly but full of wisdom?
Inkinga zingaka emhlabeni.
Yizo phela inkinga afuna ukuzizwa. Noma ama solutions.
Ama-solution akekho ama-solution nje.
Ayikho leyo nto.
Akekho because wawufunda but la sewukhona sunenkinga ezintsha. So every struggle you engage in is to inherit new problems, better ones. So mawushiya itaxi uba nenkinga ya petrol mawunyuka yamathaya. Awusenayo inkinga yokuthi manje izongihlisa kuphi amaphara. So it's the essence of life ukuthi every struggle you engage in it's about inheriting better problems. There's never a day where you'd say I don't have problems or
Issues.
Yeah, you can be fulfilled about what you have done and all those things, but better problems.
No.
That's the essence of life.
It's a great observation, yes. I never thought it in that angle. It's an accumulation of better problems. Kahle. But as umuntu optimistic, I would say it's an accumulation of better solutions. Because now the higher you go, the more sophisticated or better the solutions you come with.
And
as you face all of my problems
and
now.
When you're halfway up, you're halfway down. Don't say what you're about to say. Look back before you leave, my love. Something like that.
All right. No, so see check. But thank you very much for those. Hey, it's a bitter pill to swallow.
No, but imagine impilo engenazo inkinga ngabhora
it's out. I don't count it. No, man. This is a platform to educate. Nah?
Sure.
So from all the experiences that you've accumulated wisdom. Nah? I won't say it's knowledge only because it was something that was learned from application, learned from practical experiences.
True.
So in that sense, I qualify it as wisdom. Hey, mntanami, liyashisa lelaketela. Uzosha. Bese ingane in its ignorance or naive level izofuna ukulithinta lelaketela ish, ne?
Yeah.
So lapho ke mfethu ngithi mina ke this is a platform for you to deposit. Yabo.
How much you paying me for the deposit?
No, it's
I'm joking.
I gave you a penny and you gave me a thought. Manje, this one is.
Well, I never received the penny, must say.
It's an artificial penny.
Nah.
Hey, wow.
Hey, mama, we tight. We can't deal with artificial.
Yeah, I understand.
Crypto don't.
And that's a serious concern, bro. Kunezinto esingakwazi ukuzimonetize njengabantu. Even wisdom deserves to be monetized.
Some people are doing it.
Yeah, they are doing it, but at a higher level.
Yeah, well, you have to perform at a high level for people to,
So, this is part of the process. Hey, I know you MSOMI from the Entrepreneurial Student podcast. Can I feature you? Bese kuyibo abakhokhayo. In that sense, it makes sense, ne?
I think we should talk for free because there's like an abundance of people saying a whole lot of things, and it's just sad that people with positive views and constructive views, they're keeping quiet and they're going on about their constructive life. What it does then is it creates an impression that things are so bad. You know. So
no, it's a great point.
So we must talk even if we're not getting paid.
Yeah.
The platforms are there for a reason, but of course there's a whole lot of censorship going on if you are not aligned with certain narratives, but
agendas.
Yeah, but I think it's time, especially the issues relating to marriage and relationships. Role of men, patriarchy, all those things. Men must stand up actually and claim their space now. I think
everyone must be vocal.
No, it's too late.
Yes, okay, let's start from that element. Okay, I was outlining what's the aim of this platform. It is to educate student level, or anyone who regards himself or herself as a student of life in particular, of life or entrepreneurial in particular.
Sure.
But even that point is a relevant point in this platform. You find that you meet people varsity and you find these culture clashes, sex clashes, gender-based conflicts. How does one navigate that space?
Well, varsities are supposed to be, spaces for a contestation of ideas. But more than just the conversation about this is how I perceive A, B, and C, it's about now how do we convert those thoughts into reality.
Yeah.
I think we as a country are stuck in a lot of conversations. They're important because it allows us also to start in the right direction. But awukwazi ukushela ngetheory phela. So you can't be formulating conversations and script in your mind that I'm gonna say this, is gonna say that, and then because when you get into reality, then you find that my anticipation was that it's going to go this way, and then it's not going that way, So we have to get to a point where we start doing things, and even if we fail, failure is not a reflection. I think the other problem that's there is that we take failure as a reflection of our character, not as a reflection of, well, we didn't have a mentor in this space, someone was seasoned, but we still have a commitment to learn and take it forward, So in varsity, you get a whole lot of ideas, but the challenge now is like me and now we come from KZN, so pretty much our ideas around the certain things are influenced by that space. And when you come here and you stand firm by what you believe in,
strongly believe in, not just believe
in. You are labeled in certain ways and all those things, and that's dangerous. It's dangerous because once we engage in a conversation and I feel that I have to hold my views.
In a way, I'm being censored.
Yes, I'm being censored, but more than being censored, you're gonna fail to appreciate the meaning.
Even because the uniqueness.
Life is about meaning. Life is about meaning. Once something has no meaning, it loses its value. Now, once people are not conversing in a free-spirited way,
Yeah.
then that's not a genuine conversation, you know, because I'm tiptoeing around your
Certain issues,
your sensitive emotions. Not that what I was saying was out of disrespect, but I was saying this is how my reality is, and you have an opportunity to persuade me, to win me over, and I have an opportunity to persuade you. And if we fail to persuade each other, because that's why there's a term that let's agree to disagree, is that I've imparted something on you, I've planted something on you.
It's a seed.
It's a seed. It's gonna grow. It's the same thing you were saying earlier on, that uyamkhuza umntana akayenzi, then they learn the hard way, you know. But yeah, so we are losing a lot of meaning in our conversations, and yeah, that's
So
a sad
mhlampe
reality.
that could be the beginning of almost every conflict. Uthi, you just didn't listen enough, or we just didn't open the platform to understand each other, because there's nothing as unique as perspective. Yabo.
True.
That's what I truly believe in. There's nothing as unique, so I need to hear you out. Okay, before I even make my own some assumptions and conclusions, let me hear you, yabo. But ke manje, just to bring it back in context, let's focus on the gender element of things. Us as men are perceived as patriarchal, yabo. Even this platform might be censored to that, because already we've uploaded a number of male videos, yabo, and you'll find that a female J there. But that's the dominance you end up finding in reality, and that's why you'll find the female counterparts saying, no, you guys are patriarchal, you guys are suppressing us and pushing a certain agenda. No,
yeah,
that's open to
that's
discussion.
Always been
that's always been the case.
No, that's always been my question. How?
Or how?
Yeah.
Wathi ngiyakunika example manje
Yeah.
ukuthi indirectly that's how it's been translated, because there is no platform of engagement with, this is the reason why you find 5 men leading, let's say mhlawumbe amasonto, for example. They are all 5 male church leaders. Why don't you find...
And who follows them the most?
It's females. It's females.
Not other men.
Ileyo nto ukuthi how and why do we find ourselves in that situation? Of us, it's either we are being misunderstood or we are actually being patriarchal, or even forcing ourselves to people. I'm opening it for an engagement, not to say let's debate over it, because now I'm still a student in it.
And men have earned most whatever they receive.
The men earn whatever they receive.
Men earn their respect in general. So whatever men gets, they've earned it. Women preserve their value, and that's just the way things are, whether you like it or not. But that's just, if you're a guy, if we're not, you don't work, and you're gonna be cast out. That's the reality.
So that's the elimination.
Kanjan.
Oh, that's how we find ourselves in a certain structure.
So that incentivizes men to go the longer way, right? So if a relationship starts, like when Ushalala, if a relationship starts and there's no food in the fridge, they're not gonna look at the woman and ask, why there's no food in the fridge? Why are kids not at school? Why bonding patalanga? Why renting a patalanga? And stuff like that. And then there are things that if kungcolile, you'd look at umuntu wesifazane.
Why kungcolile?
Why kungcolile but kunomuntu wesifazane? Now, I don't understand the notion of patriarchy, you know, because this is 2 forces coming together. It's a team, and that team has
different competencies.
Yeah, it can't be all strikers and you're gonna score goals and then who's gonna defend, you know. So inherently, we're naturally biologically designed to be competent in certain spaces. You'd get those outliers of women who are prominent in spaces where it's mostly men. But also it takes a lot of sacrifice to be a top person in general. Yeah. So you don't say all the CEOs are men. Ask what did they have to give up to be there.
That one, because there's one.
And when are
and
you
the
willing,
other men are following.
Are you willing to give that up? You know. So it's always that question, because if when you are pushing to be the next great business person or you're gonna be fine with having a woman you pay a lot of money to look after your house, to look after your family, your kids. Most women, they don't date down. They date up. And I want to make a submission here that actually any professional guy is not in their interest to date down. Because the Pension Funds Act, the Divorce Act, jointly, they put you in a disadvantaged position when that person decides to divorce you.
The one who's below you.
They get a 50% of the
Your
money
estate.
we've accumulated for your retirement. You know, so that's excluding most your assets in general.
What act is that? Just to make it clear.
The Divorce Act.
Oh,
Yeah, there's an act, Musa.
for it divorce.
Yeah,
Shit.
divorce is a whole business for lawyers.
Yeah. I didn't know about the act, and I think it's time to actually acquaint myself with.
Yeah, and it's not an easy road to go into, you know. So we find that someone works and then just doesn't total 50% of my life.
Bro, it's hard. But vethu ngiyakuzwa, because we are slowly tapping into another space yokuthi now these people decide to work along. Then in them working along or falling in love with each other, they decide to make it official. In a sense yokuthi they take it to the state. And then taking it to the state, there are other consequences. Because angisazi ubani lo mjita, he was speaking about how love is not part of the documents of getting married. Yabo njengani khulunywa ngama assets lapha. They always speak about things like property, cars, what. Those are the things they speak of. It's not about love. It's not about affection. It's not about lust.
But what is love? What is lust?
But ileyo nto mfethu ukuthi it's so alarming ukuthi thina we make it about love, but in the actual documents
of things,
in the reality of things, it's not about that. It's about the things we have. It's about the things that we've accumulated. And in njengobusho, in most cases you find that it's males that are being taken from.
Yeah, and the argument has always been that women are contributing to the institution of marriage, which is true. That's true, especially if there are kids involved. And, the person was a good mother and all those things. That's true. So to a certain degree you'll understand, but some people are just vicious, man. You know, they just there with malicious intent.
It's business.
Yeah,
they're
hustling.
Actually, that's how now I'm learning how to look at it. Because man, it's very hard. Like you need to be business minded. There was even this quote I wrote at every dream and desire needs an entrepreneurial mindset. it needs that cunning business mind. We are shata, we are moving in a business, we are kipita, eat everything accumulates to heaven. Yabo,
Political leader, non-profit organization.
even the monks,
You have to treat.
they need.
That's your business.
That's your business. You need to think about assets or the quantifiable things. Yabo, yizo izinto ezibalulekile. But mhlambe to close le element esishiye sivulile ukuthi there are people, okay, us as human beings have different roles. Us having different roles, ushilo what this woman as a female figure, you'll be seen as automatically seen as responsible for this, and you'll be automatically responsible for that. I think it boils down to us understanding our roles, because you'll find that there are guys in a relationship that are more feminine, ne? Then
it happens.
then the lady becomes more muscular.
It happens.
Ne? And in them doing or dealing with situations, you find each other fitting in whatever particular thing they are working on. But manje, it gets conflicting when they take it to the greater population.
Yeah, well, I mean, small differences when you take it to a bigger group.
Platform,
it becomes compounded, becomes exponential. But I think the big problem is there's no room for conversations like that. So what are you going to do? It's like today having a girlfriend is literally having a baby. And I find it ironic when someone says they want to be babied, because that's how it is. So it has shifted from having a life partner to literally having a child.
A responsibility.
It's a responsibility. Udlile, ugqokane, yonke loo nto leyo. And what okay, it's fine. So what do most guys get in return? And girls must stop thinking that there's only a few guys who are very wealthy. Very few. The rest of us, I don't know, when people talk about unemployment, they think there's unemployment in South Africa, but it's in Robben Island, and then
and in their reality,
or it's in Mauritius.
Their reality, it's not there,
and it's not there. And so one thing I've also realized, just to jump between things, is the fact that it's like, Mabez Kotan. Mabez Kotan carried the burden that their children, that was stemming from the indulgence their children were getting in, trying to fit into that culture. This thing of like the current setup or the current behavior of a woman here in South Africa, and generally in the world outside of, and this notion about money and all that, it has some elements. The first one is women are in competition with each other about a whole inventory that the boyfriend or the man does in favor of her. You understand? So that in a conversation with her peers, she's able to say, but your guy
doesn't do this for you.
Doesn't do as my guy does.
And in fact, we will lay on to show it translates exactly to the culture of his quota.
Exactly. It's a parallel.
Yeah.
So
but they are the ones who are carrying the burden.
Yes. So now we are the parents now, and they are the squatters. And the platform that they are showing off is not in some assemblies. It's on social media. Right. So that's why you notice, girl, you want us to go out on the first date, call a fancy restaurant. Like, bruh, I don't know you that well. you know. Like a simple coffee date, let's talk.
It gets
the work done.
but manje it's becoming a showroom of some sort.
Yeah, so that's why you find that most girls, they also go to Tinder. They don't have to buy groceries. Every other day there's a guy trying to get her attention. And she's on some, if you wanna hook up with me, you know.
Now I'm a pros and cons.
Buy me dinner.
Hey, kunzima mfethu, kunzima.
So
Yeah, ne?
there's that element to it, the competition amongst themselves, but also.
But now we are ending up.
Yeah.
We are the financiers. It's like a war. Korea and Japan and Japan.
Yeah, and what also fuels it on the other end.
But there's someone who's backing it and financing that war.
Yes, that's us. Oh, we have to. We don't have to. But we feel the need
we
to.
do.
The other thing is, a lot of girls start opening themselves up to guys at a very premature age. So think about it. Relationships, they don't last. Even when we were in high school, relationships didn't last. So if you start opening yourself up to guys or start having sex with guys from the age of 15, by the time you get your first degree, which is 21, 22,
Yeah, 20.
that would have been 8 years. It means most likely you would have, at a minimum, you would have slept with 8 guys.
8 guys as a female.
Yes.
One
So
guy.
8 guys would have been through you by the time you get your first degree.
Sure.
And so then it becomes a question of, okay, my body count is,
Sure.
and I'm at my prime now. So,
Yeah, but like
so clearly it's not going to go down.
Yeah.
So, and there's been a clear pattern that I'm moving in and out of relationships. Now, I think the question of why you're moving in and out is a separate matter.
Yeah.
It has its own nuances, but
Because it could be a genuine result. Like
yeah, like I know a friend. She's a genuine lover.
Yeah.
When she starts with you, like
Yonke
you're serious, you know. So, but anyway, by the time Uti 21, you're at your prime, at your peak, and you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this for the 9th time. Just for kiss and cuddles.
No, I'm going
I must
big,
pay, I must get paid for this.
Go big.
Yeah, I must get paid for this.
It's like a thug life. This giving us college 10 rand. No man. Azingizoboshela ushintshe.
Yeah.
Hayi baba.
Ngiyayuzwa nje ngikukela mali, ngikukela pipini mali.
What is shy score is serious?
Yeah, shy score, you know, I must leave, you know.
But it really makes sense, in fact.
Yeah.
Because Bona, they feel like they are the ones who are losing.
You know, think about it. No,
Yeah.
of course you're losing.
No,
As much as girls would say body count doesn't matter, body count does matter. The fact that they're placing so much emphasis on their body, their outlook.
Yeah.
If body count didn't matter, they wouldn't be putting ass on socials.
So that's the value. It's like that's the currency in that space. If your body is not popping, you are out of the market.
That's why they're fighting for the fat ones.
Yeah.
You know, saying no, it's plus size women and all those things, and etc. etc.
Inclusion.
It's nonsense. What inclusion? People must eat properly.
No man, give us a context. So there's a debate. Yoguti, these people are not taken care of.
No,
or they are being discriminated.
Yeah, so
or body shamed.
The body shamed. That's the term.
Yeah,
they're body shamed. And then there's whole arguments that it's something that's
beyond their control.
Yeah.
But you find that there's a percentage of them that is really fethu. Mina ngiyadla ne. But fethu, I'm struggling.
Yeah, because
my
we all
body
built
doesn't
different.
build, doesn't gain so much weight.
Yeah.
But abanye abantu ngiyathi, "Ish, at your pace I would still be fine, but when you are exploding."
Yeah.
Yabo. So ezinye izinto mfethu singasho ukuthi they are not within their control, but for those who it's in their control and they're accepting it, they must deal with the consequences. Because nathi amachita mfethu khona amachita that will say, "Hey bro, my body is fucked up now, ne? My body being fucked up, I need another currency. My body is no longer the currency."
Your face is fucked
Yabo.
up.
They decide no, then they like, "No, my body and my face is not the currency. Let me go get the money."
Yeah.
The money becomes the currency.
Yeah.
And as a female, if you are faced with that situation, what could be the other currency? Knowledge, wisdom.
Guys, they don't care about that most of the time. Fuck that shit. Lohlakanipha kuphi wena?
No.
Wenjula buchophe mbira.
No, you crazy.
Serious. I should down. Because that element even khuluma ukuthi there's something as I mean we people general sabantu babantu. So if wena ichere yakho yimpi uhlale nabo MSOMI la.
Eventually MSOMI overpower.
So hey, one day sizophuza sikutshele ukuthi embatha kodwa ngeke mfethu.
Hey,
this
is me chasing for wisdom. Ngapha.
But ke into egcineni mawushada awushadi ubuhle. So
yeah.
I think we've gone past that. There's a certain age where you go past ezinye izinto. You just have to go through zona and then you get past.
Be able to deal with them.
No, because you always thought there are things that happened in your past, and you when you look back, you're like, "Hey, bro, did I really place so much emphasis in land?"
Yo, bro.
But then it's the same thing. I think also in that regard, because you always. But when you start having a partner that even though she's not the prettiest girl, but you guys are going forward, you're doing amazing things, and then it's like
you are born to okay. You start focusing on the elements of the stage you are tapping in. I'm tapping into a family stage, so I need a person who'll be fond to a family environment. Magnomcimbi ekhaya, hey baba. You don't only pull up with your beauty there. You must pitizela.
Ekhaya lakhiwa ubuhle.
Yabo. So manje though, but eventually the currency changes.
Eventually.
But some people end up being stuck on the other currency. Abanye.
That's why bekhala.
And laba abanye abangapha who are not in the beauty currency, they find themselves with formal situation. They feel like they are missing out.
No, guys will always be guys. Guys will always be guys.
They need to understand this is natural, man.
Natural. In the same way, it's natural for a woman to date up. It's natural for a guy to want to
play with the beauty.
Yeah, you know. So, but yeah.
No, man. Let's bring it back to a more entrepreneurial element.
Everything is entrepreneurial. Everything is politics.
Yes, but now this is another element that we actually tapped in, and it's beautiful. But I won't lie. Entrepreneurs too, or even creatives, like people of high prestige, man, they need a way of dealing with the other counterparts. And in most cases, because I've been studying guys like Jesus, Jesus Christ, Abo Caesar, Abo Shaga, Abo Dangote. You'll find that, but where is the family? Like, where is the family set up? Like, where is the the softer side, yabo, the more soulful side. And you are born to able. There's a sacrifice that one has to go about or even choose if you wanna be a person of high prestige.
Or maybe that's that person's exclusive space. He doesn't want to share it with the world.
All right.
Personal space,
And
exclusive.
And it gets really personal.
And he doesn't want that space to be contaminated by the world.
Because he understands the world.
Yeah, so he shields that space from the world. He exposes himself. He can take the hit, but he doesn't want this group of people to take the hit.
Because this one is more sensitive.
Yeah, I mean, look, siwabona manje amazinyane engonyama. Yeah. Unless you were staying around.
Yeah, of course you would know. Yeah.
Oh, obuza besa.
Yay.
What the fuck is this? You know? So it's him as a leader protecting that space and saying, you know what, this space, I'm
gonna keep it out of the world. And it gets more tougher as we progress in life. In a sense, which as progressing in life, it means everyone's life is public now. It is much easier to get to you. Noma singazani deeper than.
Yeah. So imagine if they start involving your kids into those things.
Because now we know.
Yeah, so that's why. I think that's why.
There was this guy that I was listening about. Robinho. Mkhumbula Robinho.
Umdlali.
Yeah, umdlali webhola. Robinho is a Brazilian player.
Yeah.
So he caught fire or started shining very young, ne?
Yeah.
Bemcomparisha nabo Ronaldinho nabo banban. Like bembonza uyashisa boy. Bambamba we go 5-a-side early. So capturing him early, it meant his process was fast tracked. So wangena we pro side mhlambe around 17. Yeah. Him entering around 17 kwazi ukuthi the contract had to call his mom to come and sign it. Yabo.
Sure.
I don't remember which team, or it's Real Madrid that had to bring his mom to stay closer to him or with him.
Yeah.
In Madrid. Khona bezokwazi ukumenzela yonke into ama legalities. That's how the other side or the vulnerable side was exposed. Because as soon as eqeda leyo nto, the mom was kidnapped.
Yo. Yeah, Brazil.
Yabo. His mother being kidnapped, he has to pay now. Was even release. I understand why Uti, for a prominent person to protect his more sensible side.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
It makes total sense. It makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mfethu, how did you find yourself this side or even pursuing what you are pursuing? Were there signs growing up or
signs of what?
Of today? Of the outcome which is today? What you're doing today or what you've been doing?
Yeah. I mean, it's an accumulation of a whole lot of effort you've been putting.
Yeah.
So if you take out primary school, what you study at grade 10 is an outcome of what you were doing in grade 8 and 9.
I remember that decision very well.
Yeah.
So
But what you're going to study at varsity is now an outcome of how you performed in grade 9, because that determined what you're going to study and the options that you're going to have at varsity.
No, right? It did. Yeah.
And
it makes total sense.
Those options now determine whether you're going to go, how much are you going to be employed or not, or the probabilities of you getting employed.
Yeah.
Then again, from there, it's now decisions that you take personally to make yourself stand out. well, 90s, maybe 94 and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we got into varsity, there was already an influx of black people.
Yeah, it wasn't censored.
Yeah. But if you look at the 80s, when they got out of varsity, it doesn't matter what they did.
Yeah.
They're almost guaranteed a job. So which is why now, if you see a lot of people, they are redirecting the conversation around varsity and telling people, don't pick A, B, and C. If you pick A, B, and C, it's not going to pay you now.
Yeah.
If you want to buy a chartered accountant, it's actually 7 years, it's not a 3-year degree, because it includes A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
That's what it constitutes being a CA. It's not a degree.
Don't think about it.
Leave out into ZOPA, ndawuzokufunda iziginca zisebenze. Hambe rank. Udlalela ukhuzana.
Hambe zaniyoshaya
Uyoshaya straight. Yabo. Inkabi zisifunda rank mfethu.
We are not laughing and looking down upon certain things. We are laughing for the fact that this is actually the solution to it.
Yeah, so if we do a proper assessment of people who say like there was a march around higher graduate.
Yeah.
There was a big bulk of social workers around the Eastern Cape.
In that pack.
Complaining to social dundun. It's those things.
Yeah.
You know, we're not looking at, and I think the conversation now should be elevated to people looking at an international level. In terms of that because most of our qualifications in South Africa, they're part
of domestic.
No, they're not. SAICA, like your SAICA.
Oh yeah.
SAICA is part of the International Board of Accounting. So once you move through SAICA, I mean, you are doing that international. Yeah,
most people, yes. I totally agree with that. But you'll find that the other courses are not as strategically positioned as the SAICA program.
Generally, our qualifications are
international.
Whether you're doing environmental studies and so on. So you like there's a friend of mine who is in environmental studies, and her employment here, she had high probabilities of being employed overseas than here, of which she ended up doing masters in something overseas. So that's the kind of thinking. My other friend did political science, and has found life by going abroad. So he was never going to make it here.
So that's the thinking, guys.
So yeah,
think global.
We're in that global village now.
And South Africa is actually competitive.
Yeah, it's very competitive around a lot of things.
Yeah. So Manje, how do you find yourself in entrepreneurship? Or not to even start there, how did you find yourself into politics?
No, you don't find it. We are in a political space generally. I mean. Yeah. It's just that when you say something and then for some reason people gravitate towards you and they give you their trust, and then you suddenly become a political figure. That's why politics are open to anyone.
You were hijacked, ne?
Yeah. You think about just how your life just switches over. Like, next thing you have to attend meetings and you're like, really now?
Because you.
So it's something you never planned. No one says I plan to be in politics. Just
it's the circumstances around, then they translate you. But you need to accept it, Utai. I'm doing this.
Yeah, because there's other time, the other guys, they were at South Point, they were striking there outside every morning, singing, and the administrators in the office were chilled.
They didn't hear any. They were not bothered.
They were not bothered. Until the one day I came, I'm like, so nzoyenza lento kuze kuthini? Asingeneni la. That's all I said. Just geneni.
Then they say, ah, man.
Then get office.
This is the leadership we need.
That's all I said. It didn't make sense for me. You know.
Yeah,
I'm saying I'm striking, and the people who must be giving me attention,
they are not
important. And they right here. Let's
get it.
Yeah, so things just but also the kind of things you're raising in the skatsazo then. Yeah. So.
And how do you find yourself into business or doing business?
No, business. Business, there's a broader discussion we must have around family business and so on.
Yeah.
You know, it's very important. Because, I did financial planning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you do a retirement plan for someone our age, to say if you retire at 60 and you are 25, how much do you have to contribute to live comfortably then? You find that you have to contribute plus 10,000
every month. Where
exactly where? No, I so wish that maybe in another time we can
decode,
show you that proof, because most you go to Sanlam or Mutual, the other ones,
yeah.
You know, and then they give you this retirement annuity and don't
plans, none.
And so whenever you start planning for retirement and you're 40, you're late as a black person. You're very late.
This thing should have started 22 years.
So we should have started 35 years ago. Especially if there's a whole lot of backlog, you're going to be the only signatory for a credit in Dondoniak when you're buying your first property. Likewise with your car. So your credit score.
You don't have some sort of a trust.
There's nothing to lean on. It's you.
It's a one-man jive.
It's a one-man jive. You're not gonna make it. But also business is tricky in itself. So you have to give yourself time to understand the space you're venturing into.
Yeah.
And at a time where your health is stable. So if you start business with your retirement, you've seen people starting business with their retirement proceeds, and it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
I think it actually fast tracks them dying.
Yeah.
That's sad to say, but
no, it's a reality.
To me, that's how I see it. Umuntu was kind of stable, but the moment I business at the age of 65, I see the life deteriorating at a very fast rate.
Very fast.
So those are the things when you looked at. You translated the academics to a real case scenario, putting yourself into the situation, and you're like,
yeah, that's why I'm saying we need to start talking more realistic things about life. About how life is. Life is not about groove every weekend and all those things, and we need to look into how do we come together to pull our resources
and be more deliberate.
And be more deliberate about what we do and all those things. So, because people graduate, they go through internships. When they're 25, they get their first permanent job. So, from 25 to 30, you're still in your junior profession, and probably after 5 years.
Junior profession.
After 5 years, you're gonna step up into the next level, the next tier of your
Second
workspace.
phase.
Yeah. So a lot of that money goes towards property, car, groove. Yeah, basically maintaining a consumptive lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it's not really investing.
So mfethu, this is the main element, the main part of this whole platform. Ukuthi mfethu, you don't need to get to a point of I'm here now. No, like visit this whilst you're still in high school. Get to see how people build up to their retirement, if it's a retirement age. Because at retirement age, you can't really do much.
You can't do. You're not in the same energy level as you are now. And you wasted that whole energy level.
How is it important if it's starting soon? From your
The sooner the better, because nothing can ever prepare you for getting into that space. You understand? Nothing can ever prepare you, because now you're dealing with a reality of I'm putting money and maybe it's not coming in.
Yes.
It's not coming in as I expected.
Yeah.
It's coming in slow. So but it builds the right values around it, which is a whole different case, which is the problem that we have in South Africa, that people, they get money quickly and then they don't have the right value. That's why they
don't have the right value, kanjani? They don't have the right channel.
No, values as in.
Oh, okay.
In terms of values,
personal values, what
attributes.
This is what you
attitude
in your life, or what?
Yeah. So that's why you'll find a lot of them, they make sentiments like about 9 to 5. But someone who has built it ground up properly understands the ecosystem. They understand that it's the 9 to 5
that builds the empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, it's the 9 to 5 that keeps the lights on, that keeps the streets clean, that protects us from criminal elements. So what we've done is those key services we've looked down upon.
Yeah.
Even now, the most looked down upon workers in the country are miners. But most people would have never been paid their salaries.
Had that
all public entities
industry had been shut down, or
would have never been paid their salaries if they were on strike, those people last year. Because the bulk of the money that went into the fiscus was coming from mining. And those are men who need respect, because those are the people who are building this country.
Or who are pumping in the money. Because
not the guys in suits.
The building itself.
You as an accountant, you come later. You as a lawyer, you come later. You as a technical dundun, you come later. You need someone who must go down there.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part of it. I always ask myself this question, Uti. If South Africa was to be in a war, who would I be in that war? Yabo?
In what sense?
What would you do in a war? Would you be the general? Would you be the soldier? Would you be the person who sells the guns or the ammunition? Would you be the psychologist that cleans the mind of the soldiers? Would you be the doctor? Yabo?
Don't contemplate about that.
No, that's how I have been translating my life into the life that I'm living. Yabo? I understand with ish, man, without the plumbers, we are nothing. Our houses are smelly and shit. Yabo?
Straight.
But the unfortunate part is that in this very land, these people or these professions are looked down upon. Yabo? But as a business person, I stand in a position of capitalizing more in that profession than if I were to be a plumber himself.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's how I have been trying to navigate. I understand, Uti, this is the importance of Zamus Kombisa. Hey guys, the very same people that you look down upon are the people who bring up the walls that you stay in. but man badlula la man qhunyela ipipe la endleleni. These are the very people that make sure that the road doesn't get swallowed by the soil. I don't know how does that work, but these are the people that make sure.
Yeah.
But whose responsibility is it to prioritize them?
It's everyone.
Gee.
It's everyone. You have to understand where that's what I'm saying, is that we've entered into a culture where people they are into a scheme of profit making, not into business. It's 28 years into this democratic project, and there's not even a single black excellence in a particular sector, industry. All of them, they are small players.
Yeah.
You know?
There's no value chain that has been built.
But also what is
solid value chain.
What is disgusting is, as a government, we're still discussing the RTP houses, toilets, basic things. So it tells you that where we are now, it's another 30 years, we'll probably be then thinking about moving into serious things. But by then the world would have been on another level. So we're still gonna chase maybe for another 150 years.
Yeah. It's just Khalil. But this has been a mouthful experience, a fruitful one too. I really feel like I didn't dig much into you, like as an individual, so that we inspire confidence from other people, for other people. Because the moment you outline the simple attributes you have to be a functional person, Ganji, it inspires confidence. Bro, I grew up naming Kubisondo. I grew up naming Shununuze in Dundumain. But I changed my thinking there and then. I was focused, Ganji, but I changed up my vision, Ganji, and this is how I find myself in such a situation. To me now, I'm asking for a second round at a later date. Let's allow people to digest this, because it covered a lot of elements. Elements all at once.
Yeah, just sweeping through.
Yeah. But siyabonga kakhulu. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this experience. It's a wrap.